Hey there, Internet, it's Nicole here, just to remind you that you don't make friends with salad. And we want you to be our friend. We're super cool. So come on down to patreon.com/evacstation. For less than the cost of that double bacon burger you're sitting there with that side of gravy. I know you guys, you got that side of gravy. You can show your support, be our friend. Never worry about the horrible tortures we'll subject you. It's, let's see, we're starting already. Oh, well, I'm sorry, friends, that earlier than planned. I've gotta go, but go ahead, go to patreon.com/evacstation. Let's do that now before it's,
You hear the beating of your heart, you know the screaming's gonna start. Here comes the really scary part, 'cause it's terror time again. They've got you running through the night. It's terror time again. Oh, you just might die of fright. It's a terrifying time.
The clock has struck midnight, and you know what that means. It's terror time again, and we'll be running this podcast all through the night from a terrifying sight. We are Aaron J. Wasiska, and with me today I have got Ryan Metters.
Yo!
And with us today is our special guest, Nicole Mendez.
hello.
And we are going to do some spookies today. It's the first episode, actually, of Terror Time. It's going to be our new mini-series for October. 6 horror movies for 6 weeks.
Good times.
Yep. Better hold on to your butts. It's gonna be crazy.
You assumed I let go of my butt.
So normally this is where we in the podcast like to say what you watching, but because we're doing something a little different, and you're getting this as a bonus episode, we're gonna do something a little different. Guys, what is the scariest thing that's happened to you this week or within like the past few weeks? Since this is the first time we've ever done this. If you all don't have an answer, I can go first. Kind of get it started.
Well, I've also got my answer that I told you that.
Okay. Yep.
Didn't really scare me, but can be construed as scary.
True. Oh yeah, go ahead and take the floor, Nicole.
Yeah, alright. So, this happened probably about 2 weeks ago. If you read my little post on Tumblr a ways back, I wrote about a little voice/presence in my head. Come to find out that she's got some friends in there. There's about 3 more that are depersonalizations of myself. I don't know. Just realized that in a time of great stress, and I was like, all right, we're here.
That sounds a little unsettling.
Exactly, which is why it didn't scare me, but when I explained it to you, you were like, that's quite concerning.
That's pretty damn spooky, no lie.
Well, I mean, even in Harry Potter, when they said you're hearing voices, Harry, and they didn't know it was a snake yet, they called him crazy. They thought he was nuts.
Exactly. Well, I'm just sitting over here and like, oh, it's fine, whatever. I'm just gonna keep going on with my day.
Have you considered the possibility that they might be snakes?
Nicole Parselton confirmed.
I am in Slytherin, so...
I mean, anything's possible now.
I mean, just for that, probably another voice is gonna pop up. It's gonna be in Parselton.
It'll probably tell you, Nicole, go to the bathroom and open the chamber.
Because where else will we put it but the girls' bathroom?
I mean, that's the only place that makes sense. You can't have boys get in there. It's the most secure place.
Yep. You're welcome for that. There you go.
I like that. That's good. I have a scary thing that happened this past week. Actually, I got one bigger thing and one little thing. I can do both if you guys want.
I'm so mundane. Yeah, you might as well go ahead.
All right. So, my big scary thing. My record of 12 years has been broken. Is it 12?
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's 12 years. So I've been driving my car for 12 years, and this weekend was the first time ever I've ever been in anything that can be remotely called an accident.
No, what happened?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I told my insurance guy, because it's pretty straightforward.
Because you can't have any records getting mixed up.
Well, no. I told him exactly what happened. Nothing suspicious or fishy. But I was pulled out of my parking lot, and there's this big fuck-off, like, high-rise truck. High-profile truck, sorry. to my left where I need to go, and he's just kind of parked there, and I can't see around him at all. And there's another car coming from my right, but he's a ways down. I'm thinking to myself, I can get ahead of this guy, no big deal. So I pull up a little bit to try to see around the truck and maybe even pull out a bit, and I'm keeping my eye on the oncoming car so I can make sure I'm timing it right. And before I know it, I'm hearing a honk, and I turn to my left again, and I see another car from the other side of this giant-ass truck, and, well, we tap each other, we bounce each other on the tips a little bit there, so.
You touch tips.
Yep. So I'm taking it into a body shop to get looked at tomorrow. The damage is super minimal, but it's just one of those things that's like, I never expected it to happen. And after 12 years, the streak's over, man.
Damn. It's the end of an era.
Yeah, now it's the era of fucking bullshit. The other... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Well, my episode isn't really a scary thing. It's more just a Ryan is a fucking moron thing. But it led to me being a bit unsettled. So I guess that counts. Kind of.
I don't know. You feel unsettled a lot more than scared, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, well, fuck it. Nah, it'll
just go with it.
It'll at least be laugh at Ryan time. So I'm driving my car, which for those of you who don't know is a pretty nice Chrysler 200S. But she has a little bit of some scratches on the side of her from previous owners and just my general fucked up driving. Anyway, so I'm driving in Costco's parking lot, about to get some groceries, and these guys pull up beside of me, and it's two Latino guys with like an older Latino woman and a child in the back seat, and what the guy who's driving, he's like, "Hey, is this your car?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's mine." And he said, "Man, have you taken your car to a body shop to get those scratches priced?" And I was like, no, I haven't had the time to do it yet. He's like, "Man, look, I work at a body shop. I have the stuff actually in my truck right now. If you'd like, I can take 5 minutes and just kind of give you an appraisal on how that would work." And I was like,
that sounds sketchy as fuck.
Right?
Yeah, I was like, this is like there was a bit of me that's like, this seems unlikely. But
that's how Ryan does.
But after a while, I shut down that smart portion of my brain. I said, okay, sure. I pulled over like in the parking lot. He priced it down for me. He's like, I can do the whole thing for $150. You won't see any scratches left. And I was like, all right. I mean, this would be pretty nice. And if I go to a body shop, it probably costs like some odd $100, so that'll be fine.
Yeah.
So
trust the random guy in the Costco parking lot.
Just trust him. It's fine. Look, he has a family in his car. Nothing crazy is gonna happen. I know.
How do you know there's real family though? It could all be actors.
Shut up. Anyway, so he puts the goop on my car. Tells me, like let it sit for a couple hours. Da 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 da. And I say, okay, cool. There's a Chase in the parking lot, and we went over. They didn't come with me to the ATM, of course. I'm not a moron. But I got them their money, and at the end of it, they're trying to try and scam me out for more. They're like, "Oh man, no, I said 150 per side. There were two sides to the car." Da 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 da. It's like, nah. You said 150. I got you 150. Do. And they're like kind of haggling with me, and I'm like, "There's no point to the haggling, because you already put the shit on the car. The job is done. It's not like you can hold my car hostage for." Oh shit. Wait. So they actually stop arguing with me. They take the 150, and the guy goes, "God bless you," and then he winks at me. And I'm
is he coming on to you?
No, like what I thought was, now I don't really feel safe leaving my fucking car in this parking lot. So let me go do other errands, and I just won't be getting groceries at Costco today because fuck my life. So I drove over to Micro Center, which is like a few blocks away, and I'm about to go in the car, about to go in the store, and I see a red van drive past, and it's those same guys whom I think followed me from Costco. And so I jumped right the fuck back in my car, and I drove all around the city to try and lose these people that I figured are tailing me. I pull off to the side. I pull off on a side street and make sure that they didn't like stick any like tracking devices on my car or shit. Like they're gonna come and grab it like later on, because I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm just super spooked that I just ran into two dudes who are about to steal my goddamn car if I take my eyes off it for a while.
Or just break the windows.
Right, and then I went home.
Okay.
That does sound a little scary, yeah. I can see where that's coming from.
You know what? I have a theory here. I don't think it was just some crazy people, in the Costco parking lot. That's too easy, no. It was agents of Konami and Gillette.
Oh, man.
Trying to get you.
Bastards, they got me.
And they got your money. That's the worst part.
They didn't even take the fucking scratches off my car. I was so mad.
You know what's funny, Ryan? I bet they used Gillette razors to scratch your car in the first place.
They probably did. God damn it. But yeah, that's my spooky that's my spooky moment of idiocy.
Well, so prior to Ryan starting, my Skype dropped for me. But I'm fully here now. I heard most of that story. I did have a mini story I wanted to add to that real quick. I'm going to try to keep it very short. So we've had having some weird noises from the kitchen lately.
Shit.
So we'll be sitting in the in the living room watching TV, and she'll hear a noise, and I won't listen to it because I'll be busy watching something or doing something. I won't notice. But she keeps insisting there's ghosts out there, and there's something going on. And she'll usually be like, both cats are out here. It's nothing. I'm out here. You're out here. Something's in the kitchen. I go look sometimes, and there's nothing there. This past weekend, we were watching a movie. I think we just finished A Quiet Place for next week or the week after. One of the weeks coming up. And when we're sitting out there, we hear this sound like a bag's falling down, like a plastic bag filled like a bag of buns, for example, or a bag of chips. Like it's falling down from like a high place. And I go out into the kitchen, and I don't see anything on the floor. I don't see anything out of place in the countertops. I even look in the hallway a bit, and there's nothing. I'm like, what the hell made that noise? And she's like, I told you it's a ghost out there. I'm like, it's not a ghost. It's probably like the neighbor or some shit.
No, it's totally.
So, Monday morning, so the day after, I go to the kitchen, and I get my stuff ready for work, and I get making my lunch, and I go to the closet, the pantry, and I find on the floor a bag of buns and a bag of chips on the ground. And I'm thinking to myself, so I think I know what made the noise. The question is, like, what caused them to fall over? My guess is just they were put precariously on the shelf, but yeah, it was a 10-second little jump scare there that freaked her out. It was kind of funny.
It was the goddamn ghost.
It was totally the ghost.
Pantry ghost now.
Man, pantry ghosts? I don't know if I can handle that. I was ready for like suit spirits and shit, but fucking, I don't know. Pantry ghosts.
Oh, suit spirits.
Well, speaking of ghosts, everybody, it's time to welcome everyone to the After Credits Terror Time, where we'll be chomping into some of the scariest and most interesting films of recent years, and we're going to go in raw with 2016's Raw. It's also known as Grave in French, so, yeah, make that what you will. It's directed by...
Raw means grave in French?
No, it also goes by the name Grave.
I
don't know. That didn't make any sense to me when I saw that.
That's like rarely used because I never see it referred to as grave.
I saw it on IMDb, and that's where I got that info from. So, this is directed by Julia Ducournau. I'm going to call her Count Dooku. Worldwide, the film has grossed a total of $3,096,000. It's an indie film, so good numbers for indie film. The cast stars, God, I'm not going to get any of these names right. Garance Marillier, Ella Rumpf, and Rabba Nate Ofella.
Did you just throw in a sound effect for that last?
No, it's rump with an F at the end, so it's Rumpf.
No, the F is silent, you dongle.
Listen, Nicole. I don't French.
I don't French. The F is silent.
There's no silent Fs.
It's French. Half the letters are silent.
It can't be silent. French begins with an F.
Oh my god.
It should be the most pronounced letter in the whole language.
All right, so then everything else is silent, and you just pronounce the F.
Yep, everything's just F. Raw has won several awards, including Best Director from the Austin Fantastic Fest, the FIPRESCI, I think that's just an acronym, I'm not sure what it all stands for. It's a FIPRESCI Prize from the Cannes Film Festival, and the Best Feature at Monster Fest. Definitely a festival favorite, so yeah.
Yeah.
And as a bonus fun fact, we've been doing these a lot since you were here last, Nicole. The raw chicken that Justine is seen eating out of the fridge is actually made of pure sugar. Garrett Marillier said about the scene that while it didn't disgust her from chicken, it did disgust her from candies for life.
Ooh.
That's real.
Just a huge chomp out of, like, putty and sugar. And God knows how many takes they had to do of that scene.
Oh, Christ.
So, yeah.
I didn't think about the multiple takes when I said that, but yeah, shit. How much sugar did she have to eat for that?
Well, I was reading up on the director, and she tends to do, because of the nature of the scenes in the film, they tend to do one take of the scene. If it gets fucked up, then it's fucked up.
All right.
You know, I respect that for indie films. I mean, you know, you don't have a big budget, just work with what you got.
Yeah. Yep, sometimes you gotta just work with it.
Yeah. So before we get into the synopsis, which I know you guys are gonna love, what are your initial thoughts on this one? Ryan, you were very vocal to me in chat. What do you think?
This was a fucked up movie, is what this was. I spent a large part of the movie just shouting "what the fuck" at my TV. So thanks, Nicole, for suggesting this one, because that's exactly what I needed to do with 2 hours of my life.
I knew you would love it.
Oh boy, love is a word.
It's one of many words.
It's one of many words. I might not use it to describe this movie, but god damn it. All right.
Nicole, you're a guest. Before I go, what do you think?
Well, it should be telling because I picked this movie.
No!
And I really fucking enjoy this movie. Like, it is super good. Like, normally for films, I only watch it once and then I'm good. For good films, I will watch it multiple times. I was considering watching this a third time today.
Oh, really?
A third time today?
Yes.
As in you watched it 2 other times today?
I gotta admit, that's impressive.
Oh.
I haven't done that many repeat viewings since I think Incredibles the first one came out.
Yeah. And I was talking to Aaron about this before you got on, Ryan, but he said he was lucky that he didn't eat during this. During the first time I viewed this and each time after I've eaten during the film.
Yeah, I don't know how she can do that. Well,
I will say...
I was gonna say, when we get to the breakdown, I will definitely explain why I chose not to eat and why I think I'm justified in it, but we'll get to that here in a minute.
Though I will say the movie did spook my younger cat. He was quite scared after the first time he watched it.
Interesting.
Well, do you think it'll ward him off eating your body if you happen to die at home?
I mean, I hope so. I had to carry him around the kitchen and be like, it's okay, buddy. The French vegetarians aren't going to get you.
Those
So
fucking
I think he was
vegetarians.
more concerned with the French.
Well, my initial thoughts, I'll go real quick. I think it's very interesting, and I can definitely see a few meaningful takeaways you can grab from this, and I think we'll discuss those here very shortly. I will admit that it might be a little gross for my taste, but we'll definitely dive into that here very shortly. But before we get into that, I got a synopsis for you boys.
All right.
Hold on to your butts.
Dad, can't you have some other kind of party, one where you don't serve meat?
But all normal people love meat. If I went to a barbecue and there was no meat, I would say, "Yo, Goober, where's the meat?" I'm trying to impress people here, Lisa. You don't win friends with salad.
You don't win friends with salad. You don't win friends with salad.
You don't win friends with salad. You don't win friends with salad. You don't win friends with salad. You don't win friends with salad.
You don't win friends with salad. You don't win friends with salad. You don't win friends with salad.
Mom!
I didn't mean to take sides. I just got caught up in the rhythm.
Justine has finally made it to the prestigious UA Academy. During a particularly obnoxious hazing sequence where older students force her to attend a rave, dump buckets of blood on the freshmen, and strong-arm them into eating raw meat, the latter of which awakens a dormant quirk of sorts where eating meat grants her beast-like fighting prowess.
Oh my God.
However, because she's been presumed quirkless for so long, her body has a strange reaction, shutting away most of her human nature and her skin. But the quirk takes control and evolves. She gets a craving for meat, so she and her presumed gay roomie, Adrian, drive somewhere private so she can consume it. Justine even scarfs down a raw slab of chicken when no one's looking. All of this appears to have strange, gross effects on her body. It isn't until an accident with her sister, Alexia, occurs when she dares to consume the flesh of a man, or in this case a woman, and thus her quirk finally takes hold. But there's a twist. Alexia also has the cannibalism quirk. She stages an accident to try to eat the victims of this of a car accident, I guess. Wording. But Justine holds her back as she morally objects to using this quirk in this way. However, her mind starts to erode away as if the cravings slowly consume her, causing her to bite whoever gets close to her, and even lusting after her, already mentioned gay roommate, who we saw earlier doing some dude-on-dude blowjob action in the film. Yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah.
We eventually get to a scene where the whole school is ostracizing Justine due to a video Alexia allowed to leak out. Here we see the full power of the cannibalism quirk as Alexia beats down Justine in battle. Thinking this is where it ends, Justine returns to her roommate to sleep. Waking up, she finds her roommate dead, his leg ripped apart. At first she panics, thinking the quirk is taking her over completely, like some kind of demented monster. But she quickly deduces it was her sister all along, Alexia, who broke into the room and chowed down. Alexia is thrown to jail and Justine returns home to traumatic events. That's the end of the movie. But wait! Another twist! Her father removes his shirt, revealing the symptoms of the cannibalism quirk on himself. It turns out it's a familial quirk, and he says it's up to her to figure out how to overcome this curse. Dun, dun, dun! I love this series, man. My Hero's great.
I'm so mad at you. I'm like furious. What?
That was amazing.
That was brilliant, but fuck you.
I chilled some super good bullshit on this one. I had fun with that.
Oh yeah.
Alright, now that we've discussed the movie and what it is, let's go ahead and dive in. Guys, what do you think of this movie now that we've gone this far? I got discussion questions if y'all want me to throw those out there.
Oh man. So when I heard that we were doing a cannibalism movie, I braced myself for like gore, and well, I mean, this movie actually wasn't like as heavy on the gore that I was expecting.
I was really appreciative of that. Actually, I like that.
I was appreciative of that. I was. What I wasn't expecting was the general unexpected gross shit. Like, I didn't know how uncomfortable I could get watching a girl scratch a rash very vigorously. I was just like, stop fucking doing that. Or watching the doctor peel dead skin off of her body. That was pretty bad.
While those are bad, Ryan,
I saw a girl lick a dude's eyeball. What the fuck?
Ryan, while those are bad, what got me in particular was her throwing up a wad of hair. Like,
that was bad.
Like, vomit in anything in general, not just this, but in anything, typically does not sit well with me. And seeing it here twice was just like, nope, I'm gonna look away for a minute here. Let this play out.
Yeah, I say nothing about her sister fisting a cow. That was pretty graphic.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, that's something you see on a farm. It's fine.
Yeah.
I've never been to a farm to see it, but I know it's a thing that happens. Don't they usually go up the vagina to pull the calf out? Instead, she was just pulling out shit. I think she didn't read her manual right. She picked the wrong hole.
Oh, rip.
Yeah.
Rip. Oh my god.
Okay. So.
I have a question for Ryan before we delve into discussion.
Okay.
Ryan, I want to know how you took the scene where she eats her sister's finger.
You know,
that wasn't bad.
That surprisingly was not as bad.
All right.
Because, I mean, that one was pretty straightforward. I had braced myself for cannibalism. I mean, it was only a matter of time. And as soon as that finger was just laying there, I'm like, this bitch is going to eat that finger. That's what's going to happen. I was
more uncomfortable watching last year's Halloween episode of Simpsons where Homer eats himself more than I was watching that. So.
Oh shit! I haven't seen that. That sounds terrifying.
It's dumb and gross, and I don't know why they thought it was a good idea for an episode.
Now, what I wasn't expecting. Oh, well, hold on. Before we get to the discussion. General, like, overall, though, what I also was not expecting was to deal with that, like, overall icky, creepy shit and the awkwardness of being a freshman in college.
They nailed that really good.
They did nail that really good, and there was just so many times I was just yelling at this child for making horrible decisions or stirring up drama with her supposedly gay roommate whom she just banged because she was really hungry. What? Stop! It was in the middle of class. It was so awkward. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little awkward, but I mean, it all worked though. At the end of the day, I think everything in this film worked the way it needed to. It was fine. I can dig it.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, like to be perfectly clear, I think this movie hit every point that it was trying to convey. Like everything it set out to do, I think it did really, really well. It clearly was not for me. That's what
Understood. So I have a quick question for everybody. So at the beginning of the film, you see someone run into the street and cause a car accident. Now, when I first saw this, I thought to myself, okay, so this is the flash forward. We're going to flash back to see how we got here. And then we get through the film and we see that same car on the side of the road as she's traveling by bus somewhere. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, that actually already happened. So what the fuck was that? What did you guys think when you first saw that opening? Like, did you think the same thing too, or like, what were your thoughts on it?
My guess was, once we met her sister and once the story started portraying out, I was pretty sure that was her sister already doing shit. Especially when she took her to that same grassy knoll right before it was going to happen again. I'm like, that's how her sister gets her picks.
Once I got to the grassy knoll, that made sense to me. But up until then, I was not sure like what had actually happened there. Like I was trying to figure it out until we got there. I'm like, oh, did she do that? What the fuck?
I feel like I lost track of that until they kept bringing it back every now and again, just like to keep it fresh in your mind. And then once they both got to the grassy knoll, then I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. See, my first thought on it was, like the whole cannibalism thing was a school-wide thing.
Oh, that would have been interesting.
Just because of how ambiguous the figure is when it runs across the street to get the car to run into the tree. My first thought of viewing it the first time was that this would be a school-wide thing.
Man, so it'd be like High School of the Cannibals, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. That, like, there's this small cult of cannibals within the vet school.
Actually, no, it'd be a college one. Fuck, I got that mixed up. Oh, whatever. The point is, that would have been a very interesting take. I don't think... It definitely would have been a different story, though, so I don't think you would have gotten the same meaning out of that as you would of this. But that would have been interesting. I wouldn't mind seeing a different take like that.
You know, I'm interested in this meaning that you keep alluding to, because I obviously missed it in my being grossed the fuck out. So, let's talk a little bit about that.
Tell me about what?
you keep alluding to like deeper meanings and deeper themes within the movie, and I obviously missed that shit.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Calm down. We got a lot of questions to go through here.
It's like pretty up there.
All right. So my next question I got for you guys. It's also early in the film. So Justine equates the rape of a monkey to that of a woman. They have like a little discussion about it, and I thought that stuck out to me a little bit. So my question to you guys is, do you agree with her sentiments, and then why or why not?
Nicole.
Yes. Oh, you don't want to talk about the monkey rape first?
No, I've been talking a lot. You know, I want to be a courteous, a courteous host.
Mm-hmm. I can see where she was coming from with that argument, kind of bringing up the animals feel things too, like they're not that much different from people. But to equate the rape of a monkey to a woman, I was just, when I watched that scene, I was just eating my popcorn and my snacks, and I was just like, yep, thanks, French film.
I don't know. My thought on it is, and hear me out, I feel like the rape of an animal, in general, is worse than a person. And hear me out. I'm not saying rape, it all is good. It's all bad. But if you go after a person, they at the very least have an awareness and the ability to defend themselves. They know what you're trying to do, or can at least intuit it. Animals don't have that same intuition. They look at a dog, for example. Dogs generally love people and will basically do whatever you tell them to do. So when you do horrible things to them, they don't fully understand that it's a horrible thing you're doing to them. So I think the lack of morality and ethics within an animal's brain makes it worse, because you're basically abusing something that doesn't understand you're abusing it. That's my thought on it.
Oh, that's an interesting point of view. Since I didn't grow up with pets, I definitely don't equate their abuse as bad as human abuse. Don't get me wrong. I am in no way advocating for animal cruelty or abuse in any way, shape, or form. But I don't put them on equal footing, because I can empathize with a person going through that and how horrible that is. I can't really empathize with the animal in the same fashion.
No, I get that. I don't think there's a wrong answer here. It's just a very interesting discussion to have, I think.
It's a very interesting discussion to have after you've been drenched with blood, having a picture taken, and now eating lunch in the cafeteria.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, was that before or after the raw rabbit thing? I think it was before, wasn't it?
No, it was after.
Oh, was it after? Okay.
Yeah, because the first bit was the blood being drenched on them.
I remember that.
And then they had to go take the shot and eat the rabbit liver, and then let's go to the cafeteria and talk about monkey rape.
Yep, that's part of the hazing rituals, talking about monkey rape there.
And who the fuck was that random awkward-ass kid who brought up the situation in the first place?
You know...
The one who brought up AIDS and monkey rape.
Yeah, that was a weird... It was just a weird character to just come up and bring in some digression in the middle of the film. It's like... Like, film, I know you have a thing you're trying to tell me here, but you're getting sidetracked. Stay on target. Stay on target.
Stay on target.
Okay. So we've all been to college. We've all been to high school, as far as I know. Did you all undergo any hazing rituals when you started a new job or school? And if not, did you participate in any of those hazing rituals to other people?
I'm so damn tame. I actually haven't. Honestly.
Well, I can kind of say the same thing for me in terms of undergoing it myself, because I went to community college first, which, I mean, is basically just high school for adults. And then I transferred into junior year into university. Yeah. So I kind of skipped all the freshman bullshit.
That's fair.
Well, I have the complete opposite, where I went to liberal arts college in downtown Chicago.
Oh boy.
Not so much hazing, just a lot of parties, a lot of drugs, a lot of sex going on.
Did you participate in any of those drugs or sex?
I did not.
Okay. But you were there, though. You were on the ground floor. You were getting the front row seats.
Yeah, I knew people who partook of it. I just didn't partake myself.
Meanwhile, I went to the wrong goddamn college.
You should have went to the liberal arts college.
I should have. Man, I didn't have anywhere near enough money for Columbia. Lord have mercy.
No. But the most, like, wild departments that I knew of was, I think it was the theater department that really got down. Like, each one was kind of cliquey, in a sense, where film, like, mainly they just smoked. Like, that was their thing.
Fair enough.
But I did read, when I was doing research, sorry to cut you off, but I was looking up research about the movie, and I found that hazing in France is actually considered illegal.
Oh, so they're doing some crimes here. Shit.
Yeah. I read, I think it was an interview with the director. She said that hazing in France is technically illegal, but it still does happen, which is why we don't hear about it as much as, like, American hazing.
Well, in America, though, the hazing's really just shooting up a school, so...
No!
Sorry, is that too soon?
Man.
Ow.
I'm sorry. For all the victims of school shootings, I do apologize. It was not meant to be a shot at you. It's more meant to... Wow, that was really bad.
Wow!
That was not a pun. Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Change topics.
Alright, let's just go to the next question.
Yep.
That post, don't worry about it.
Okay, next question. So the piece of meat Justine's forced to eat is a piece of raw rabbit. My question to you is, do you think there's any deeper meaning behind why a rabbit in particular was picked? You can pick any meat, you can pick any animal, but why do you think they picked a rabbit?
It's probably most readily available.
I mean, from a technical standpoint, I think so. I think from a more symbolic narrative standpoint, my thinking behind it was that Justine's kind of this innocent kid being thrown into this whole thing, and rabbits are kind of one of the more docile, quote-unquote, innocent creatures out there, so it's kind of like representing her, almost.
I didn't so much see the actual animal meat being the symbolism here, but the actual act itself as, like, her not wanting to eat this raw rabbit liver, but her sister essentially going like, hey, all the cool kids are doing it. You want to be cool, right?
Well, I mean, that's obviously a drug allegory there.
Yeah. Her essentially like, hey, you want to be like me, you want to be one of the cool kids, just eat it.
Just eat it. Just eat it. That's a good parody song. But yeah, no, I mean, at that point you definitely see that this is all just more or less a big, like, anti-drug, like, allegory kind of thing, showing the, you know, how it all starts and then the insane addiction that takes place, like, almost immediately afterward.
I don't know about anti-drug, but more of coming of age.
Ryan, where are you fall on this one?
I can see the I can see the drug allegory. Definitely. I feel like the ending twist kind of gets away from that narrative.
A bit, yeah.
That makes, like, a bit.
Well, I could argue otherwise, actually, because a lot of people would argue that addiction can run through a family. For myself, for example, I have grandparents and uncles and aunts who all have had various struggles with alcohol and drug addiction. So it's definitely something that gets passed down in the family. So I don't think it's necessarily too far a stretch.
Also, it can, like, now that I'm thinking about it a little deeper, it can show that a functioning addict can often blend into society super duper well.
Oh yeah.
Damn, that gets deep.
Damn. Okay. I can get behind that. I can get behind that allegory there. All right.
Okay. Next up here, I'm gonna try to rush through these real quick because I have a trivia I don't want to miss out on here.
Oh God, no!
You're gonna like it, Ryan. It's actually very fair to everybody.
All right, Nicole, let's slow this down real bad.
No.
Okay. Let's jump ahead here. Let's see. Do you think there's any particular meaning behind the side effects of the cannibalism quirk? And if so, what do you think that meaning is? So the rashes, the skin peeling, all that stuff. Like, what do you think that all is trying to tell? What do you think is the meaning behind all that?
I don't.
I have a theory, but I want to see if anyone else has anything first.
Go ahead with your theory.
Okay. So, if we're carrying over the drug addiction thing, possibly, it could be kind of her shedding away her old self. Like, when someone is addicted to something, when someone just has these bad habits just take hold of them, it's arguable that they sort of lose who they are and become a different person. I don't want to get too personal, but my brother in particular definitely kind of went through this kind of stuff, and it's safe to say that before he got into drugs and after, he was two different people completely. And I think that you're seeing her shed away her old self and kind of molt into this new addicted person who sits on the sidelines at parties glaring at everybody like they're, the next, quarter pounder with cheese she's going to eat.
Yeah, it is definitely her shedding her more innocent, kind of sheltered appearance. And there was a TV movie that this director also did before Raw that had to do with metamorphosis. Like, she's really into metamorphosis and, like, body obsession. And
so she's a fan of The Fly, then. I mean, who is it? It's got Jeff Goldblum in it.
It's a work of art.
Clearly.
Okay, Ryan, anything you want to add to that?
No. I can get along with that. That makes a lot of sense. Very symbolic of shedding your skin, kind of molting, and especially since they're all in veterinary school, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see what I got next. Okay, this is definitely an opinion here. Do you think Adrian deserves his fate?
No! What?
Well, no, think about it, though. In a lot of old school horror movies, and even more modern ones that still kind of hold on to the trope, people usually get killed because they don't fall into some sort of moral, like, guideline. Like, let's take the old Halloween, for example. People got killed because they had premarital sex, they got drunk, they swore and did all sorts of other dumb shit. Friday the 13th is another good example of all the camp counselors fucking each other before, marriage and shit. That was sort of the main gimmick, is that the killers went after those, quote-unquote, less than reputable people. Now, I'm not trying to throw Adrian under the bus because he's gay. I think he's a cool dude, for the most part. I didn't have any problem with him. But is there anything about him or anything in his actions that you would say made him, quote-unquote, deserving of his fate? Or do you think that it was just completely happenstance? He just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time?
I mean, he just happened to get involved with two crazy people who are obsessed with him.
I mean, they do say never stick your dick in cray-cray.
Yeah, I mean...
he should have stuck to guys.
He really should have. They'll eat him, but they'll eat him in the friendly way.
So, like, this actually gets to something which I think was hinted at but never explicitly stated, unless I missed it because I was just grossing the fuck out.
Okay.
Was Adrian actually seeing the older sister?
I don't think that was heavily implied, unless I missed it. Nicole, do you have any way to back that up?
I think it was just mostly because he had her phone number, and every once in a while she would just see him hanging out with her.
The way I saw it was like Justine. Alex was very much kind of obsessed with Adrian and like wanting to know what he tastes like. In that scene where Justine's watching him play basketball or soccer, whatever the hell it was, without his shirt on.
It's football over there, Nicole. Football.
Look, I don't remember what he was.
No. It's French. You don't pronounce the F.
All right, it's ootball.
All right, so he was playing ootball. So I figure it was that kind of thing, just more subtle in Alex's way, because she's more used to playing this game of trying to get her quarter pounder.
Meanwhile, Justine's like trying to ride that dick and just lick his face off.
Exactly. Well, Justine has no idea what's happening to her. She doesn't know how to go about, what's the word? Eating people.
What's the word for killism? Oh, eating people. That's what I want.
Eating people. Well, I wanted to use something else, and I was just like, fuck it, just eating people.
Alright, I got 3 more questions here. One of them's kind of like a what-if thing. Then I have 2 more that are more just about the genre itself.
Mm-hmm.
First off, do you think the mother of the girls, the wife, the person we've seen but didn't actually do anything, has any awareness of these cannibal quirks? And how do you think she lives with this information if she does?
Oh boy.
Well,
Go ahead, Ryan.
I thought it was. I thought the implication of the ending twist was that she is a cannibal and that she's been eating her husband.
See, but I was under the impression that maybe the husband was part of it, and it was what we saw was his side effects.
I no, because and the thing that really got me was that when she ended up in that weird ass bathroom scene with the paint and the guy, and she ends up biting the shit out of his lip, and they show how his lip is split. It automatically reminded me of the facial scar that you see on the dad.
The dad has that same thing.
Oh man, I guess I didn't catch that. I got him flipped around. Fuck.
So when he opened up his shirt and you see all of these scars and gouges in his body, what that said to me was that the mom's solution was finding a guy who was in love with her enough and just had low fucking standards enough that he would let himself be eaten periodically by this crazy bitch.
Man, I read that whole last scene so wrong.
Yeah, plus the mom was always the one more into the vegetarianism. When Justine first has that taste of meat, in her mashed potatoes, the mom blows a gasket. She's like, my daughter can't eat this, we're vegetarian, and totally trying to drill that into Justine's head, you don't eat meat.
She was trying to avoid the whole thing. Okay.
It happened.
But I don't believe she was trying to avoid the whole thing. Otherwise, she would have sent her daughters to different fucking schools. She knew this was going to happen.
That would have been the smart thing to do. All right. I got 2 more here. What are your thoughts on body horror films? Which this film it basically is.
Nicole, you're the bigger horror aficionado. What do you think about it?
I think I don't know. I always like to see how people react to it because I don't get the same reaction you and Aaron get, being super grossed out with it. I'm just I'm there along for the ride. Even with other gory body films like Hostel, Saw, that kind of things, I don't get the same reaction you guys do. Mm-hmm. So I'm more interested in seeing how other people react to it.
I think for me, it depends on what they're trying to convey. If it's gross out body horror kind of stuff, it's not necessarily my bag. But if it's a transformation kind of thing, I feel like there's some exceptions I can make. I don't think I dislike the genre, but I think I'm very picky about it.
Yeah. I don't know, does Human Centipede count in body horror?
I think it counts as a movie I'm never going to see.
I wouldn't know.
I'm so mad the third one isn't on Netflix.
Yeah, I saw there's one on Netflix. What one?
I'm mad that
the second one?
Of them.
1 and 2 are on Netflix. Why are you so mad? Why you not watch that?
It's gross, man. I just heard the premise, and I was like, no,
it's not even gross.
Okay, Ryan, let me ask you this. Ryan. Would you rather have Human Centipede on Netflix or every Adam Sandler movie on Netflix? Every one of them.
Everyone?
Every one of them.
Does he have to watch them?
He has to watch all the Adam Sandler movies if he picks them. If he picks Human Centipede, he can just ignore it if he wants to.
Oh no, I'll marathon all 3 Human Centipedes. I'll do it.
Oh.
Fucked up.
I'd go with Adam Sandler, honestly.
Oh really? Man.
I would just grit and go through it because it's occasionally funny. But Human Centipede's just fucking gross.
You've never seen it.
It just sounds bad.
If you've never seen it, how do you know it's bad?
I I have the same aversion to it as I have of Two Girls, One Cup. I've never seen it.
Oh, I've seen
it. But the premise alone is enough. I'm like, you know
interested in it.
I'm good. You know what? That can stay over there. That can. It really can.
The premise is the best part. Like, I just want to see that.
I mean, it can't be any gross in the 2016 election, am I right?
That's true. That was pretty gross to watch. I couldn't even watch that.
Yeah, my stomach.
I don't think that wasn't gross. That was just really, really sad. Because it's real. Damn it.
All right, last one here.
But to get back to your original question about body horror, I think I have a bigger reaction to it because I can easily, like, imagine that happening to me. It's just like automatically my danger sense is just like, oh shit, skin being flayed off your body, let's go. And I'm like, no, and it just it freaks me the fuck out because I can easily put myself in that situation and be like, all right, I guess I gotta saw my foot off now.
I get that a little bit. Like when I see like bugs and weird shit in movies and like it's crawling over someone's body, I'm like, I get that weird itchy feeling like there's a bug crawling on me. So I kind of get that. I can sympathize with that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just sitting next to you guys eating all your snacks. Like I don't know what the problem is, guys. Like
she's probably laughing at me freaking out rather than watching the movie.
Because I've probably seen the movie.
She's like, I've seen this already. No, this is entertaining.
Exactly. Like I love watching fucked up shit like this.
I really need to get to a point.
Jam.
I need to get to the point where I can watch a movie with Ryan, like a new one, like in theaters or some shit, so I can watch his reactions. That's what I want to see in the movie theater
it's
next.
A spectacle.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I don't know. Watching The Exorcist with Ryan is pretty up there.
Oh, really?
We couldn't finish.
Shit. Oh.
I don't even think we got halfway.
I want to see Infinity War Part 2 with him. I think that'll be fun.
Ooh. I think he just die.
He probably will, actually. I'll have to carry him out of the building myself.
I was actually trying to cast spells in Infinity War Part 1. During the battle with Thanos, I was over there fucking casting the Crimson Bands of Sidorak right from my chair. This is good shit.
Ryan, what are you gonna do when you accidentally cast them for realsies, like your quirk manifests and you just summon the Bands of Sidorak and you kill the person in front of you?
Well, I'll apologize for the but then my life.
But they're dead, Ryan. You killed them.
Well, magic. It's fine. I could probably figure out a way to heal them. This is cool. I got magic.
We're good.
All right, last question.
Okay.
The film chooses to be more focused on tone-based horror rather than jump scares. Do you like this style better or not? And then why or why not?
I do. I so much do. It's so much deeper than just a little jump scare that gets you because it's a base reaction. The tone of this film is fucking amazing. I mentioned this to Aaron when we were talking before, very Kubrick-esque. Like, a couple of the scenes reminded me of A Clockwork Orange.
A film I have not seen, but it's on my list. I was going to add it to the horror movie list this year, but I'm like, you know what? I want to stick to newer stuff for now, and then maybe do older stuff down the road.
It's not really a horror film.
It's more unsettling, yeah. From what I've read, that's what I've been told the general tone is.
I don't know if you should really trust my opinion, considering I ate things while watching this movie.
Yeah.
You just have, like, an iron stomach and, like, no sense of being bothered whatsoever.
Exactly. I can just watch these messed up films like Human Centipede and, like, all sorts of B horror movies and not be bothered.
Just a person getting flayed alive. She's like, huh, neat.
Hey, pass the popcorn over there.
Now, I'm going to suspect that, Ryan, you appreciate the tone-based horror more, too. And I'm only saying that because I remember your reaction to Five Nights at Freddy's.
Fuck. Oh, God. Okay, so, like, first things first, there is a stark difference between horror movies and horror games.
It's still jump scare the game, though.
It's still jump scare the game, no lie. But with games, it actively seeks to put you in that role. So instead of watching somebody else go through this bullshit and is about to get wrecked, it's you sitting in that chair checking fucking the grainy ass camera angles, and then holy shit, why is the animatronic here? And I'm dead. I don't like that. That's spooky. But to get back to your question, definitely appreciate the tone-based horror as well. I can get behind some jump scares, but I think the better horror is where it's it manages to really create an immersive setting. So instead of it just being one moment of, oh, I was scared because that thing came out and I didn't expect it, it's more the general like ambiance and vibe of the film that has completely captured you and has also managed to keeping you in this unsettling kind of space.
Absolutely.
Exactly. It's more of a constant than just a moment.
Well, that's
which is what Raw does super well, because they don't shy away from those close-ups.
Well, another example, because you brought up Kubrick, The Shining. I think it does a great example of that, of just setting this tone of this isolated, horrible place, just how quiet and eerie everything is. It does a good job maintaining that. And if you're a video gamer like I am, you will appreciate something like Silent Hill, which is very much in the same vein of, atmosphere versus jump scares. So,
yeah, I think it's definitely a stronger. I think it's definitely more difficult to accomplish.
Absolutely.
But when done well, holy shit! Because you manage to keep the viewer. You manage to keep the audience in a very uncomfortable place, but it's something that doesn't jar them out of the movie. In fact, it makes them stay in it more, and it's really impressive when it's done well. And I think this was done very well.
An example of a movie that did not do atmosphere very well is actually the Silent Hill movie. It failed to do any kind of atmosphere, but I digress. That's all for my discussion questions. A quick reminder to everybody, if you want to send us some emails on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, or email, Ryan, what is that email?
That is Nicole likes to eat people at gmail. That is evacstation at gmail.com.
Yep, if you go to any of those, you can send us questions, comments, or concerns. Tell us your favorite horror movies. Tell us what kind of crazy stuff you like seeing and what gets you spooked. Halloween candies, or your favorite
concerns?
Or your favorite Halloween costume. Just give us anything spooky. It'd be great.
Okay, don't send us concerns that I eat people.
I mean, if you're concerned about Nicole eating people, go ahead and ask us. I can't promise I'll do anything, because it's her life. She can live it. Whatever.
I, for one, am constantly concerned, but it's okay.
Alright, I know we're running a little long, but I have a trivia that I know you guys will love here. Alright.
Oh,
This is a trivia that I'm only doing for this one, and then I'm going to have to switch it up for next session. This is horrors at the box office.
Okay.
I have multiple different years here. We're going to do 3 rounds, 4 years apiece.
Oh boy. Okay.
You need to tell me what the highest grossing horror film of a given year is.
Oh, shit. Oh, Nicole's got this.
I don't know, Ryan. You might have a chance here. We'll see.
I don't know. I'm terrible with years.
Alright.
Oh, boy. Alright.
Starting with round 1. What is the highest grossing horror film of 2003? It was not a good year for horror movies. Let's put that out there for you guys first.
2003.
Can you tell us some other movies that came out in 2003?
You know what? I'll bring up Box Office Mojo, and I can give you some of the top grossing not
necessarily horror, just anything that came
out. No, I know. I just wanted to...
I'm going to guess The Conjuring.
Ryan's got The Conjuring. Interesting choice.
I don't know. I think that's too early.
Let's see, so this is what, 20... That's a 2003, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so of that year, and Ryan, you are allowed to change your answer after you hear some of these. Return of the King, Matrix Reloaded,
shit. Wow,
Bad Boys 2.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're right. I was thinking 2013 rather than 2003. I told you. Oh, hey. I was a babby. All right.
Yeah.
Charlie's Angels Full Throttle.
Oh, man.
Wait, is that the answer? Is that
no, that's just another example of what came out that year. Curse of the Black Pearl.
Shit. Wow. Fuck, I was 13.
If y'all want to pass, I can pass this one.
13. Oh, come on. 13.
Trying to think.
I feel like some of these will be easier than this one. This is probably one of the harder
My
ones.
brain keeps telling me one thing, but I know that's not it.
Well, what do you think it is? Let's hear it.
But my brain keeps telling me Saw, but I know like 2003 is way too early for that. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna go with Saw. I'm gonna trust the one voice in my head.
All right, Ryan, you have a counter offer?
I'm gonna offer up Freddy versus Jason.
Ding, ding, ding. Ryan got the answer.
Yes! Oh my god!
It came in at 82 million. It was not a good year for horror movies. I'm going to let you know that right now.
Yeah. Thanks, voice in my head.
Okay, next year, we're going to go 90s with 1999. What is the highest grossing horror film in 1999?
Oh, fucking hell.
1990.
Can I request the same thing?
Yep, let me go back to IMDb, or Box Office Mojo, and check out 1999.
Mm-hmm.
I have got Phantom Menace, Toy Story 2, Tarzan, Stuart Little, Wild Wild West.
All these family-friendly films.
Well, considering we were kids when this came out, I think that would be helpful.
That's fair. No, that's fair. I'm just laughing at you.
Fucking Inspector Gadget came out this year?
Really?
Yeah!
Oh, fuck.
Pokemon the first movie? Jesus. I feel old.
Oh, God. Ugh. I'm old now.
Let me see where this one ranks, because let's see. This is number 10 of the top grossing movies of 1999.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty solid. That's pretty good. Pretty good.
I think I might be off by like maybe a few years. It might have been early 2000. I think it was early 2000s, but I think my guess is going to be Halloween H2O.
Oh no, that was later, man.
Was that like super? Like was that like early
2000s?
I will neither confirm nor deny.
2000s. Because
I really
did Halloween come out in the late 70s or the early 80s?
I can't confirm or deny that either because I have 70s questions here. I don't want to spoil.
God damn it, Aaron! All right.
I want to say early 80s, but that could be the liar voice in my head.
You know what? I'm gonna stick with it because I have no other ideas aside from that. So,
all right, I've got H2O in one corner. Nicole, you have a guess for me?
Okay. Trying to think. Did that come out in 99?
I think she might be on the trail. Let's see if she figures it out. Let's see what else came out in 99 I can throw out there for you. Let's see. Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Big Daddy. American Beauty.
Oh wow.
The World Is Not Enough.
Oh, here's Brosnan.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Sixth Sense. I think that was later, though.
Yeah. All right. So, technically, both wrong. Nicole, I did look up. So the list I was using didn't list Sixth Sense as a horror film.
Okay.
Blair Witch is the one I actually picked for the top grossing horror film of that year.
Blair Witch.
But I will give Nicole half a point.
What do they categorize Sixth Sense as?
I will give you half a point, Nicole, because Sixth Sense could kind of be a horror movie. I feel like it's more of a thriller. Let's see what Box Office Mojo calls it here real quick.
Did Sixth Sense come out in 99?
So, yeah, it did. So Sixth Sense calls it a horror film, but the other side I used didn't. So I'm going to give Nicole the point because I'm going to go with Box Office's answers here. I don't know why they thought Poltergeist, not Poltergeist, Blair Witch is the one there. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, we're at one apiece. We'll go with that.
Okay.
All right. Next one, 1982.
Fuck. Okay.
Do you want your 82 movies?
Yes.
All right. I got E.T., Rocky 3, Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan.
God! Sorry.
And for your hint, this is number 8 of this year.
Shit.
And for those wondering, while we're waiting for them to give me an answer here, Blair Witch actually had made $140 million at the box office, but if we go with Sixth Sense, that goes up to $293 million. So
Blair Witch was actually pretty good.
Blair Witch is pretty
It is.
solid. Yeah.
And I'm a fan of found footage stuff, so that's cool.
I knew we should pick Cloverfield for one of these movies.
And Cloverfield, that's my jam, man.
Alright.
Ooh.
Do you have an answer, Ryan?
So, I want to say one of the Nightmare on Elm Street films, but I don't know the exact dates of each movie, so I wouldn't know how to narrow it down.
I might be nice and just let you pick the whole series, but we'll see what Nicole picks first before I give you that little leeway.
I'm going to pick the first Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay, so she is picking a specific one.
I'm pretty sure most of them were late 80s.
Ryan, what do you say?
Damn it. I'm going to go with Nightmare on Elm Street 2, with the idea that the first one probably came out in 1980, and then maybe the second one came out 2 years after that.
I like the direction you guys are taking it, I really do, but neither of you actually have this one.
Damn.
It is Poltergeist.
Oh, shit.
You just spoiled it on the last question.
I accidentally read the wrong thing, and I was hoping no one would realize that I did.
Damn it!
I'm glad no one realized it.
Rage! Past Ryan, you failed me!
Yeah.
Alright, that was 76 million, by the way, which is just behind 48 Hours at 78 million. So,
Wait, when did Nightmare on Elm Street come out then?
let's see. I'm looking for any Nightmare on Elm Streets this year. I don't see anything for the top 50.
Oh, 84.
Oh, so you're a couple years off.
2 years off. Yeah, I thought most of them were late 80s.
Dude, fucking Halloween 3 came out in 82. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That's way down the list, though. Okay, next one.
Yeah.
Your last one for the 4 here. 1973.
Okay.
God damn.
And I don't have an IMDb list for the 70s. It only goes back to 1980, so...
Oh, yay.
73%?
73.
Can you pull up just some other movies that were in 73?
Yep, I can try to do that for you here. Hang on. 1973 in film. Probably have to go to Wiki. Oh, no, I've got some stuff here. I've got Westworld, Jesus Christ Superstar. Let's see. Soylent Green, American Graffiti, and it won't let me scroll over more. Hang on. The Sting, Planet of the Apes. Oh, sorry, Battle for the Planet of the Apes.
Oh.
Let's see what else we got here. Enter the Dragon. Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Magnum Force. Let's see what else. Robin Hood. Oh, the Disney Robin Hood. That's cool.
Oh.
Yeah, we're getting some stuff here now.
Oh.
Alright, I have a guess. It's more than likely going to be wrong.
We'll see.
But I can't think of anything that would be older. Like, that comes immediately to mind.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's a solid guess. Nicole, what do you got for me?
I want that. That is a solid guess, but I think it was... I want to say Texas Chainsaw was maybe a year earlier. I'm gonna go with The Exorcist, because I think that was in the 70s somewhere.
And the winner of this round is Nicole by 1 point.
Oof.
Exorcist is a solid choice.
Exorcist is the winner with $232 million in 1973.
I was really worried that was 75.
I don't want to spoil anything, but since I didn't pick 74 for any of these coming up here, you were actually right, Nicole. Texas Chainsaw is a different year. It's 74. It's the year later.
Damn.
So.
I fucking knew it.
1 year off. God damn.
I knew it. I didn't know which way, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure Ryan's a year off.
That was pretty good, though. You guys had some solid guesses for most of that.
Shit.
I cannot wait to see how our future guests handle this one, Ryan, because I got a few more here that are going to be fun.
Oh my God.
God damn.
So with that, we'll go ahead and do closing thoughts real quick. This is where we rank our movie. So, Nicole, I know we talked about an alternate idea for these horror films. Do you want to pitch the idea out to us and see what Ryan thinks? Or do you want to stick to our usual gold, silver, platinum, and all that?
I think I remember what we were talking about, but go ahead, jog my memory. Because
I think you said bucket or fuck it.
Oh, yeah. We rank it on give it a bucket or a fuck it. Do we throw it in... Oh, God, how did I word it, Ron? How did I word this?
I don't remember.
Is it worth buckets of blood, or do you say fuck that movie?
No.
I think that's basically how it was.
Okay.
Yeah, throw it in a bucket of, like, good stuff, or just fuck it. I think that was my wording. I don't remember. It was past me. That was a different me.
Alright, if you want to stick to the usual ranking, we could do that. Keep it simple.
I like the bucket or fuck it.
Bucket or fuck it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, Raw, would you bucket or fuck it?
As uncomfortable as this fucking movie made me, I thought it hit all of its beats that it was trying to do pretty damn well. I thought it captured college awkwardness to a goddamn T, and it just put it on top of cannibalism, which was great. And the eyeball licking just wigged me the fuck out. So I'll put it in the bucket. It did what it was supposed to do very well. I'll put it in the bucket.
Nicole, where do you sit on this one? I'm pretty sure I know your answer.
Oh, okay.
I guess if there's anything you want to add to your bucket.
Yeah. For me, I really enjoy this movie. I'm not grossed out by the eyeball licking, or the eating of the finger, or the
fucking eyeball. What the fuck?
But it was beautifully framed.
Gross. It was so fucking gross. Oh my God. Sorry.
I mean, am I the only one who wanted that to go farther, like her full-on sucking on his eyeball?
Nope, I don't want that. That's too much.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was all you.
All right, so that was all me. All right, cool. That's good to know.
Yep, good to know.
But I was reading some quotes from the director, and this one I kind of really like. So she says, "For me, when you talk about the body, you talk about much more than the body. You talk about the human condition. So for me, the film questions the human condition. It's about morality and how do we represent death." So I'm going to take this movie, I'm going to flip over the bucket, climb on it, and put it on a nice high shelf because I'm short.
She has turned the bucket to a soapbox and will expound on the values of this movie.
Exactly. I will preach the good word of this movie and the eyeball sucking.
I'll put it in the bucket as well. I don't think it'll be my shiniest bucket. It'll be a fair bucket all the same. But yeah, I think it's fine. I think, like I said, it's a little gross for my taste, and Overall though, it hits its themes and messages good, and I think it's definitely worth checking out if you can handle a French movie. I don't know if everyone's game for a French movie, Nicole. I was barely ready for a French movie.
That's what freaks them out. The French language and their lack of F's.
I did propose it to my cousin, like, hey, I'm gonna watch a really messed up film. Do you want to watch it with me? It's French, and he was like, French? Nah.
Yeah, if it had been German or Japanese, I'd be like, yeah, fuck that. I'm down for that shit.
Right.
But French, I don't have to step too far.
Yeah, I think getting people on board with the French is kind of, yeah.
Shout out to our French listeners out there, but if you exist.
If you want to cuss us out in French, you can email us at evacstation@gmail.com.
Just be sure to tell us if we pronounce the F or not, because I'm kind of fuzzy on that. Your language is kind of weird.
Of course it is. It's fucking French. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you guys next week. And I think, Ryan, if I remember right, we're going to be talking about Annihilation.
God, that is a fucking movie. Yeah, no, I can't wait to talk about that one.
Fun fact, Ryan, I actually bought that one because it was on sale for $5 when I found it.
It's a good deal.
It's a good deal. I cannot wait to talk about it.
I'm here with my B horror movies. Thank you very much.
All right, well, thanks for listening, guys, and remember to check under your bed tonight, and we'll see you after the credits.
And the monsters grunt and groan, rotting faces full of slime. Don't you know it's terror time? And it's terror time again. They've got you running through the night. Yes, it's terror time again. Oh, you just